My son's bully's dad showed up at my front door with 8 men and a smile. "Your kid's been talking," he said. "Tonight, we teach you both a lesson." My son watched from upstairs, hands shaking on the curtains. They didn't know the quiet man opening the door used to train operators in hand-to-hand combat. And they definitely didn't know I'd already called someone. Not the police. Someone who doesn't ask questions. My name is Ethan Rourke. I'm 41, a single dad, and I live in a calm little neighborhood outside Fort Collins, Colorado, the kind of place with tidy lawns, polite neighbors, and people who wave even when they don't mean it. That calm ended the day my son, Noah, started coming home quiet. Not tired from school, quiet. Not teenage mood, quiet. I'm talking broken spirit quiet. He'd drop his backpack by the door and disappear into his room like he was trying not to take up space in his own home. I noticed the changes the way you notice a crack in a wall, small at first, then suddenly everywhere. He stopped asking to hang out with friends. He stopped eating breakfast. He started taking longer showers. He flinched whenever his phone buzzed. I'd seen fear before. You don't spend years in the military and mistake it for shyness. So I waited 3 days, because sometimes kids need space to tell you the truth without feeling cornered. On the 4th night, I knocked softly on his door. "Noah. You got a minute?" A pause. Then, "Yeah, Dad." His room looked normal, posters, a half-built model kit, clean sheets. But his eyes didn't match the room. They looked hunted. I sat at the edge of his bed and kept my voice steady. "Talk to me. What's going on at school?" He tried to smile. The smile collapsed before it finished forming. "It's nothing." I nodded once, like I believed him. Then I said the one thing kids don't expect a parent to say. "Okay. Then show me your arms." His face went white. "Dad, show me." Slowly, he rolled up his sleeve. There were bruises. Not fresh bruises, either. Older ones layered under newer ones. Like it wasn't a one-time incident. My chest went tight, and for 1 second I felt that familiar switch inside me, the one I used to flip in places where mercy got you killed. But Noah needed a father, not a weapon. So I breathed. And asked, quietly, "Who?" His eyes filled with tears he was too proud to let fall. "His name is Bryce Halden," he whispered. "And, his friends." The name didn't ring a bell. But the way Noah said it told me everything. That night, he told me the whole thing in pieces, like each sentence cost him something. It started as jokes. Then shoves. Then stealing his lunch. Then cornering him in the bathroom, making him apologize for things he didn't do. And then, he swallowed hard, staring at the wall like he couldn't look at me. He made me kneel, Dad. My hand tightened around the edge of the mattress. "Noah." He said if I didn't, he'd. Noah's voice cracked. He recorded it. I didn't ask what it was. I didn't need to. I just pulled my son into my arms and held him until his breathing slowed. "You did nothing wrong," I said into his hair. "Nothing." He shook his head like he didn't believe me. "I should have fought back." "No," I said. "You should have been protected." The next morning, I did what any responsible parent is supposed to do. I went to the school. The counselor gave me sympathetic eyes. The principal gave me careful words. The vice principal gave me a promise. "We'll look into it." And I knew what that meant. Nothing. Because Bryce Halden's father wasn't just a father. He was a local monster in a nice shirt. His name was Graham Halden, a contractor who knew everybody, donated money to school programs, sponsored city events, and smiled with the confidence of a man who believed consequences were something that happened to other people. I filed reports anyway. School report. Police report. Screenshots. Names. Dates. And every time, the response was the same: we don't have enough evidence. Kids will be kids. Try to keep things calm. Keep things calm. Like my son's humiliation was a scheduling problem. Then came Friday. Noah walked through the front door with his head down. His lip was split. His cheek was swollen. I didn't ask. I didn't need to. I just said, go wash up. Sit on the couch. Don't move. My voice was too steady. That's when I saw it. A notification on Noah's phone. He'd left it on the kitchen counter like he forgot it mattered. A new group chat. The preview message read, "Look at him beg." I opened it. And there it was. My son. On his knees. In a school bathroom. Crying while boys laughed. My stomach dropped so fast it felt like falling off a cliff. Noah came back into the kitchen, saw my face, and froze. "Dad, please." My hands were shaking, but my voice stayed calm. "You're not going back there Monday." His eyes widened. "What?" "Dad, I have." "You're not going back," I repeated. "Not until I'm done." That weekend, I became the version of myself I hadn't been in years. Not the angry version. The focused version. I installed cameras around the house. I changed routines. I checked locks. And I made a phone call I'd hoped I'd never need again. A man named Cole Mercer answered on the second ring. Cole and I weren't friends. We were the kind of people who shared history and didn't talk about it. "What's up, Rourke?" he said. "My kid's in trouble." Silence. Then, "Where?" I gave him the details. Cole didn't ask why. He didn't ask what happened. He only said, "I'm in your area. Give me one day." Monday came. Noah stayed home. We told the school he was sick. At 2:47 p.m., my doorbell camera caught a black SUV stopping in front of my house. Then another. Then two vans. My stomach didn't drop this time. This time, it went cold. I looked up the stairs and saw Noah at the top landing, frozen. "Go to your room," I said. "Lock the door. Stay away from the windows." His voice trembled. "Dad, what's happening?" I held his eyes. "Trust me." He ran. I opened my front door before anyone could knock. 8 men stood on my lawn, spaced out like they'd done this before. Big guys. Thick forearms. Hard faces. And in front of them, smiling like this was a social visit, was Graham Holden. He wore a tailored jacket and a gold watch like intimidation was his hobby. "Well," he said, slow and amused, "this is the father of the little snitch." I leaned on my door frame, calm. "What do you want?" Graham's smile widened. "Your kid's been running his mouth. Got my boy in trouble. Made my family look bad." He took a step closer. "So? I brought some men to teach you both a lesson." I nodded once, like I was considering it. Then I asked, quiet, "Are you done?" Graham blinked. "What? Are you done talking?" He laughed, turning slightly to his men like he was sharing a joke. "Look at this guy. You got some nerve, Rourke." Then his smile fell into something uglier. "Get him." The first man moved. Fast. Confident. The kind of confidence you get when you've never met resistance. I didn't step back. I stepped in. The moment he committed, I redirected him, simple, efficient, putting him on the ground with a sound that made the others hesitate. Not fear. Not yet. Surprise. 2 more rushed. 1 tried to grab. 1 swung wide. I moved like muscle memory, not emotion. 1 down. Then another. Graham stopped smiling. Get up, he snapped at his guys, suddenly less amused. Two of them circled, trying to be smart about it. That's when Cole Mercer's voice came from behind them, like a bad dream. You boys lost. They turned. Cole stood by my driveway holding a coffee cup like he'd just arrived for a barbecue. But his eyes weren't friendly. Graham's face tightened. Who the hell are you? Cole took a sip, then pointed toward Graham's men. I'm the part you didn't plan for. The men hesitated again. And hesitation is expensive. The next moments were fast, shouts, footsteps, hard impacts, men realizing too late that size isn't skill. Noah watched from an upstairs window despite my instructions. I could feel it. Because kids always watch the moment that changes them. And this moment was changing him. When it ended, the lawn looked like chaos, men groaning, rolling, trying to sit up and failing. Not dead. Not mutilated. Just, defeated. Graham Holden stood frozen at the edge of it, breathing hard like his body didn't understand what his ego had just witnessed. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. I walked toward him, calm, and his confidence finally cracked. Wait, okay, he stammered. We don't have to do this. I stopped close enough that he could smell the truth. You came to my home, I said. With 8 men. Graham swallowed. This was a misunderstanding. I nodded slowly. No, I said. This was a decision. Then I turned my head slightly, raising my voice without yelling. Noah. A beat. The front door opened behind me. My son stepped out, shaking, but standing. He stared at the scene, his father, the men, Graham. Graham tried to regain control with words. Kid, listen, I lifted one hand, and he shut up. I looked at my son. This is Bryce's dad, I said gently. This is the man who thought it was okay to come here and threaten you. Noah's eyes flicked to Graham's face. For a second, I saw the old fear. Then I saw something else. A new expression. Not cruelty. Clarity. I asked Noah the question that mattered most. What do you want me to do? Graham's eyes widened like he suddenly understood who had the power now. Noah's voice came out small, but steady. I want him to say he's sorry. Graham exhaled like he'd been given mercy. Yes, okay, he said quickly. I'm sorry, kid. I'm sorry. Noah stared at him. And shook his head. Not like that. Graham's throat bobbed. Then how? Noah's eyes held his. Like you mean it. Like you'd say it if nobody was watching. Graham glanced at the men on the lawn. At Cole. At me. Then his shoulders sagged. His voice dropped. I'm sorry, he said, quieter. I'm sorry I let my son become that. Noah's face didn't soften yet. And? Graham swallowed hard. I'm sorry I thought money makes me untouchable. Cole's smile was almost invisible. I crouched slightly so my son could hear me alone. You did good, I murmured. You chose your dignity. Noah's breath shook. And then he said the line that sealed the night, tell your son to delete the video. And if he ever touches me again, he looked at his father. He won't like what happens next. Graham nodded quickly, too quickly. I will. I swear. Sirens sounded in the distance, neighbors had called. Graham flinched like reality had finally arrived. Cole leaned close to him and said, almost conversational, walk away, Holden. Don't make this worse. Graham looked at me one last time. His eyes weren't angry anymore. They were afraid. He turned, barking orders at his men as they struggled to their feet. Get in the vans. Now. They left. And for the first time in months, my son exhaled like his lungs remembered what peace felt like. Noah looked up at me on the porch. Dad, yeah. His voice broke. Why didn't you tell me you could do that? I smiled, soft, real. Because, son. I've spent my whole life trying not to. That night, Noah slept. Actually slept. And the next morning, the school called. Not to apologize. To ask questions. By Friday, Bryce Holden was suddenly under investigation. By the next week, the video mysteriously disappeared. And by the end of the month, Graham Holden's name stopped sounding powerful in Cedar Falls. Because there are two kinds of strength, the kind that humiliates people. And the kind that ends humiliation. And my son finally learned the difference.